We're going to uncover the real reason why the YouTuber Hamza quit daily uploading, and this is the first of a 3-part series on Hamza. Now, we know it was due to his failing and financially draining channel, but mainly being pushed to work at the expense of his health by someone who claimed to be his friend. We've got screenshots and insider testimony on both what money the channel was making and who this friend actually is behind his sinister mask. But to understand both these things, we need to go back to where it all started. Born in 1997, Hamza moved from Pakistan to England as a kid and was raised in Warrington. Racism, violence, moving house because life was hell. He grew up skinny fat with self-esteem issues as a teenager, more racism, introverted brown kid in the UK. He had no luck with girls or social validation at all, leading to even more self-esteem issues. He looks to the gym for light and finds his calling at 17 years old. He builds a body to be proud of and reaps the rewards. He cashes in at the casino and becomes far more social at uni, going full degenerate party mode as most of us do at that age. Then he moves back into his parents' house, leaving the dopamine-driven lifestyle behind and doubling down on confronting his past trauma. He reads about meditation and living a monk mode lifestyle. It's at this moment he pursues entrepreneurship and goes through the dropshipping eBay reselling phase many of us driven people do. With minimal success pursuing these businesses and working a dead-end customer service job unrelated to his psych degree, he found solace in his self-improvement journey, which had led to his social validation and affirmation that he had wanted and liked in this world by others, turning into a healing process for all that trauma, lack of relationships, and addiction from his childhood. Incredibly relatable for many young men in the same situation, right? Exactly. He starts his channel centered around self-help with the aim to encourage and bring the light to many young people in a similar situation to his younger self. And along the way, he was joined by a man known as the Harbinator, also known as Sam, who edited Hamza's content from the get-go. Through Sam's editing, he shared his journey, his experiences, and his advice for younger Hamza, bullied for being brown for his culture and his looks, differentiating himself from the legacy self-help YouTubers who, instead of sharing their own experiences and establishing a relationship with their viewers, created content that people actually didn't care to watch. And this was how Hamza built his YouTube: authenticity, relatability, a father figure many lack, and a best friend along the way helping him grow. He discussed taboo topics like addiction, anxiety, mental health for men, how to talk to women, and they're all conversations that many of us never had growing up. Thanks to all of this, Hamza grew and grew, with his aesthetic body guide garnering over 4 million views to date, opening the gates of self-improvement for many young men. And as this channel grew, so did Hamza's friendship with Sam, and he soon went from a mere editor to the sidekick of the self-help YouTuber and his best friend. Sam gained authority and he managed the channel alongside Hamza, managing editors and thumbnail designers. Hamza paid him a full-time wage, flying him around the world with him as he enjoyed the fruits of his labor. 193 million views to date, 1.77 million subscribers, and before he quit, daily uploads that performed incredibly well. So what went wrong? Hamza claims he left daily uploading for his purpose, and whilst not entirely a lie, this clearly wasn't the full picture. As part of my research for this video, I reached out to a few people who worked closely with Hamza who provided me with screenshots and testimony regarding why he actually quit. We'll call my first insider Dave to keep their anonymity.
So, he had his YouTube channel, which was growing as everyone knows quite rapidly. Connected to that, he had his Discord server and the global hub, both free to join and use: Hamza Unfiltered, Skillshare, his aesthetic body course, and his coaching, which was initially available to viewers for $1,000 p/HR, but after getting a lot of backlash was made exclusive for high net worth individuals.
So in order to make more money, Hamza partnered with Skillshare to provide video lessons on there about different topics. Hamza claims he made £20,000 a month from Skillshare alone, most of which would have been raw profit considering his low overhead and content being reviewed. But then Skillshare sent Hamza a notice removing him from their platform. According to Hamza, they did it because he violated their community guidelines due to content he posted on YouTube, even though YouTube decided to keep this very content on their platform. As for what was going in and what was coming out of the YouTube channel operation, we were provided with screenshots of all of this. So Hamza was spending from £500 to £750 per video and scaled this up to 7 videos a week. He himself says this was more like £1,000 a day or $1,200, probably factoring thumbnails and scripting, as he didn't write his videos himself anymore. That means he was spending between £3,500 and £5,250 per week, which per month is £14,000 to £21,000. £350 to £450 was the average AdSense revenue per video, meaning he made £2,450 to £3,100 per week, and per month between £9,800 and £12,600, so Hamza was losing money hand over fist when his back catalogue didn't cover his expenses, up to £8,400 a month if all his videos weren't to break even. Now, of course, some of these videos, like he says, made £1,000 a month, and high-growth companies sometimes decide to operate at a loss for growth, which Hamza seems to have done for a while. The issue is when it becomes unsustainable and these high-growth businesses don't find a business model to sustain this continuing loss. Especially with the issue of demonetization and videos being age restricted, and we have screenshots of this occurring, so whilst Hamza was growing in views and subscribers, he was inconsistently profiting from his YouTube channel, which seemed at first to be this cash cow considering he was pumping out all this content. Despite earning £193,000 from this YouTube channel, after adding Skillshare earnings and adjusting for expenses, Hamza actually lost money overall. Estimated costs for editing alone range from £168,000 to £252,000 per year, and that's not even including other expenses like personal assistants and writers. And some may say that the channel in the beginning must have been profitable because Hamza was a one-man show with Sam doing cheap editing, and while yes, that was the case, his income was also far smaller because he wasn't nearly as big as he is today. So when he was smaller, he was probably keeping 90% of what he made as he had no costs other than taxes, but that was more like keeping $900 out of $1,000. When he was making serious money, that's when he wasn't even making 1% from his YouTube revenue directly, so if he was losing money at his peak, the YouTube channel didn't directly make him wealthy. Now, many of you will already know this thanks to Hamza's recent video where he claims he made it all back and more by selling courses, but the point of showing you all this isn't to expose Hamza, rather the second reason why he quit, which was Sam the Harbinator. You know, that guy that edited for Hamza from the start, the Harbinator, or as I will call him because it's degrading to give him that name, just Sam. Well, Sam seemed to have tasted success and couldn't get enough of it. People stroking his ego, DMing him and worshipping him like a disciple of God, he absolutely adored his newfound life. And who was funding it all? Hamza. Without Hamza, Sam was just another editor who no one actually cared about, rather they just followed him because he followed Hamza everywhere else. So he needed his main source of income, the River Nile, to keep on flowing, and he pushed Hamza past his limits to record and produce daily content. So much so that Hamza was actually suffering from deteriorating health and headaches. And whilst this is pure speculation, it isn't a stretch at all to assume Sam is the one who pushed Hamza to upload daily. In fact, Hamza actually shows us screenshots and says it's Sam telling him to stop being a pussy and get it done. And funnily enough, people had a growing distaste and hatred for Sam and how he operated, with many ex-employees of Hamza that I spoke to saying he was unprofessional and a horrible person. Now I'm going to let my second insider speak for themselves on both the cult Discord branch of Hamza and his global hub, which let people meet each other if they were from the same country and Sam.
Okay, so basically what went down is that there were some talks with like everybody upstairs, you know, like the head leadership of the server resetting the server, because I'm not really sure why, but like Harbinator got it in his head that like for some reason, like the way that the old role system was set up, like with like the Adonis and like the disciple system, the way that that was set up would like promote like it was basically making it so that like the bottom percentage of the server had to suffer, and like only like the top people would prevail. So like in his words, it was like only a server designed for like the 1%, which is true for reality too, right? It's like only the top 1% usually get the best, right? So it's like, why does that not apply here? So he kind of decided, or maybe he made the decision with Hamza, I don't know. He kind of decided that like he needed to redo the entire server, and all of us head guys knew that it was coming. We didn't know when it was coming. So when it came, I was out of town, so I couldn't help at all. But basically what went down was that, to my knowledge, at least Harbinator to us, like to the Adonis guys and the mods, didn't say anything about it. He just started deleting chats. He just started deleting roles, and he just started deleting everything. And he put in a new verify bot, and the verify bot got so many requests that it crashed like the entire verify bot servers. and some of the head guys ended up getting shit from the double verification guys because like they crashed their servers, but you know, it wasn't really their fault. And the other thing was that Harbinator deleted a bunch of stuff, and then he went to bed. And then, like, none of the head leadership had access to anything in the Discord. Everybody could just message in just this one verified chat. So it was just a shitstorm. And then when Harb got back up, like 8 hours later, then he gave, like, permission to some of the guys, like, Discord permissions back to some of the guys. And that's when he decided to start explaining, like, okay, this is what we're doing, this is how we're gonna do it, and this is what I'm hoping for. So what he wanted was that he wanted to combine, like, the Adonis.houses, like the Adonis.house, and he wanted to introduce the new tribe system. Again, I don't know if he got that from Hamza or if he just made it up, but I'm gonna presume that he probably got it from Hamza. And then he was like, okay, we're gonna combine these two things together. So he got rid of the Adonis house, or like he helped get rid of the Adonis house. Decided to like bring in the Adonis house into the Discord. So like this is when we had like the reaction roles, which was like the India and the United States thing, which was way too broad and like no one ended up using it and it was completely useless. So the global hub was a place where people of other like nationalities could come together and they could all meet up, which there was a lot of meetups. I know there was meetups in Spain. I know there was meetups in the UK. I know there were some in the US somewhere. I know there was some in India. Like, meetups did happen, and the Adonis house was being used, but I guess Harb got it in his head that because, like, they didn't have direct control over the Discords, because the Discords were made separate, that for some reason it was, like, a security risk. Because, like, people would, like, start, like, diddling each other, or it would be, like, it was just, like, a risk that was bound to happen, so he wanted to have complete control over it. So he wanted it all just to be under the Hamza Discord label, and then he also wanted to introduce this tribes thing. He and Hamza never fucking used the server. Like it'd even be a stretch to say it was their server because they never did any work on it. They never did anything for it. The entire time I was in Adonis, I never saw Hamza or Harb in the chat once. The only time I saw Harb was when he decided to start deleting everything. So they did nothing for the Discord. Like they realistically did like nothing for the Discord. It was all the top level guys, and I don't know if I'm not going to say their names, but I'm pretty sure they know. Like anybody who's in the Discord probably knows who I'm talking about. And it's like, yeah, those are the guys that made the Discord exist, that actually worked on the Discord. And to my knowledge, none of them were ever paid for anything. So they were all basically just used as free labor, or like something that Hamza and Harb never used. So Hamza and Harb never used the Discord. Like some random night, he just kind of got like a little bit pissed, and he just decided to clear house. So yeah, Harb is a very unprofessional guy. He's very, very unprofessional. He's not, he likes to LARP as like a top G because he watched some Andrew T, but he is not a top G. You can trace almost every bad decision that Hamza made to Harb. Like you can trace almost every bad decision that like Hamza made, it was Harb's like fault. He's a decent editor. He's not even like a great editor. So all of us ex-Adonises still keep in contact. And all of us still keep in contact. Like, there's not a single guy, and I think all of the ex-Adonises, there's like 60 of us, there was 60 of us, not a single one of them likes Harb. But I'm pretty sure it was Harb that, because remember there was a couple months back, well, about a year ago back now, Hamza tried to roll out an affiliate program for his course, and it was shit on a lot. I'm pretty confident that that was Harb.
Essentially, this guy dragged himself up on Hamza's coattails and exploited Hamza's kindness and brotherhood without him realizing until it was too late. He never managed to become anything but a shadow of the self-help king and is yet still super arrogant, and this isn't even coming from me but the people who actually worked with him. He's never seen anything close to the same degree of success outside of Hamza, even today with the videos he create only gaining any serious traction if they mention Hamza by name. Not to say that I'm not doing the same with this video, but at least I'm not calling my best friend a pussy. If you've taken anything away from this video, let it be this.
So yeah, Harb is a very unprofessional guy. He's very, very unprofessional. He's not, he likes to LARP as like a top G because he watched some Andrew T, but he is not a top G. He's a decent editor.